Welcome to Figure Feedback. My name is Jeremy, and this video is all about Star Wars. In celebration of Star Wars Day, it is May the 4th, and I'm going to be showing you some really cool 3D prints that you can make easily for yourself at home, and then you can keep them for yourself or you can give them away to friends or family. And in addition to that, I wanted to make this occasion a little bit more special. So I'm using a very special kind of filament that the good folks at eSun were kind enough to provide for me. I have their EPLA Magic and EPLA Chameleon filaments, and I printed everything here with those filaments. Now, the cool thing about these filaments is it's not just a plain color. It's not just green, purple, blue, or white, or anything like that. They have these really cool color shifting effects and twinkly starlight effects that I think goes really well with the whole galaxy, Star Wars, outer space kind of a theme. And here's just a few of them right here. So this one right here up front, this is their EPLA Chameleon filament that looks sort of blue, but it's actually very sparkly and twilighty, and at certain angles, it actually turns purple. So we're going to be taking a look at that. And then for their EPLA Magic line, we've got this one right here, which is a combination of purple and green, and again it's got that cool color shifting effect. And then last but not least, this is another one of their EPLA Magics, and this one also has that sort of shimmery silver, purple, and green effect when you look at it at certain angles. All right, so now let's take a look at some of these prints. Let's start off with this one right here, right up front. So you guys, I am a huge fan of HueForge prints. In fact, I've got a few of them behind me, and this is one that I have printed on the Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus, and this is of Yoda. Now, what I did here is, even though the black is just a standard black filament and the red is a standard red filament, I spliced in some of this EPLA and EPLA Chameleon and Magic filament to go along with it. So you can see that for Yoda, the green parts of him have a little bit of a sparkly, shimmery effect to them. And then you can also see some of the highlighted areas that also have that sort of shimmery effect. So it gives it just a little bit more dimension than just the standard flat colors. But I do really love HueForge prints, so I wanted to give this a shot, especially since Yoda's green, you know, and I got a little bit of this green EPLA, so I really wanted to just show that off, and that is pretty cool. All right, now the next thing, you need to have lightsabers for Star Wars Day. And here is a model of a lightsaber. And remember, I'm going to have all of the links to these things in the description, so you'll be able to easily find them. Now, this is part of a model that is for a print-in-place lightsaber that's actually extendable. There's a couple different models. There's one that has the blade already in there, so you can just flip it out and the blade comes out. But you can also choose to print the blade separately, and instead you can print the hilt by itself as well. And for this, I used this filament here, the EPLA Chameleon filament, and it's got that nice shimmery tone to it. I'm going to try my best so that you can see it in the camera, so you can see the different shifts of color and the sparkly effects of it. But the other cool thing about this is this bottom part you can actually take out, and if you wanted to paint this separately, if you wanted to paint it, or if you want to do anything special or custom with it, you can do that. And then you can insert the blade, print it separately in another color, and then you'll be able to slot that in there, and then you'll have yourself a nice print in place extendable lightsaber to display, right? So that is another cool print here. And as far as just regular models go, let's take a look at this Yoda, which is a cool example of the EPLA Magic filament. So this is a completely print in place Yoda. It does not require any supports whatsoever. And as you just sort of look at it, you can see that it has a nice dark base color, but it also has that nice shimmery green effect put through it as well. So when you get it in the right light, you can see it, but then there's also little shades of purple in there too. So my light is right over here, and as I'm holding it up to the light, I can see that this part is green, but on the back end, it's purple. purple. And I really like that color shifting effect. It's really awesome. So this is nice Yoda here, really easy to print. And the guy out here in front, this really cool clone trooper. Listen, I have been a huge fan of like these Big Bricks. That's the maker of these models. They make a lot of these Lego inspired big Star Wars minifigure models. And this guy was also used with the same EPLA magic filament that Yoda was printed from. But then I also spliced in some of this chameleon filament for the highlight parts as well. So he also, you can see it probably more prominently on him since there's a little bit more contrast. But then for his weapon here, that's when I switched over to the more purpley EPLA magic. So you can see a little bit of a string right there, get that off. But yeah, you can see the nice little purple effects right here. And again, this model supportless, so you don't have to worry about it. It comes in different parts though. The head comes separate from the helmet comes separate from the body, the arms are separate, the legs are separate, the waist attachment is separate, and then the accent pieces are separate as well. So if you only have one printer, you're going to have to switch up some filaments and you're going to have to keep printing over and over and over again. But if you have more than one printer, then you can just run them simultaneously so you can be done faster. But I love these guys. I've actually printed out quite a few of these models, not in this filament, but in other filaments, and they are just amazing. I love these guys. Now, you probably had your eyes on these amazing, and these are some of the most amazing models that I have seen that are Star Wars related. These are also completely print in place. This is a suspended Millennium Falcon that's being suspended by thick strands of filament. It prints this way. And again, it's free. I'm going to show you where you can get this. And I printed this out again with the EPLA chameleon filament. This one shows up a lot better since it already has this sort of a base light blue texture, and just turning it towards the light, you can see the different color effects, and that shimmer is the thing that stands out the most. But this Millennium Falcon, I mean, just absolutely gorgeous, and amazing how this whole thing can just be printed in place. When it prints like this, flat, and it just prints up. And it just came out looking really, really, really nicely. This was done on a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. I think these all were with 0.4 millimeter nozzles. I did ask whether or not this filament is abrasive and if a hardened steel nozzle would be required. And I was told that you didn't need a hardened steel nozzle, despite the fact that it has these little effects in it. You can make your own judgment call on that. But for me, stainless steel with the Adventurer 5M. And then I do have a hardened steel nozzle on the Neptune 4 Pro, so that's how I printed these out. And then last but certainly not least is this model right here. This is another suspended model, completely print in place, and yes, it is bigger than this, but this one comes with a little bit of extra kick to it. Let me show you what I mean. 3, 2, 1, boom. Now, I'm hoping that you can see this, but don't worry, I'll get a close-up for you as well. I've actually installed some LED lights inside of this model because that's how it was designed, so that you can take LED strip lights and easily insert them inside of the frame itself, and then you'll be able to have a nice, cool lighted effect for this model. And this one is RGB. It comes with this little remote. I got this from Walmart for $5, so I can just change the colors to whatever they have available here: green, red, orange, yellow. I can make the colors go from one color to another rather quickly. I can have it fade, and then there's also a music setting. So if you have music going, you can just go, and then everything just changes like that. And that is just really, really amazing. And I love the fact that you can incorporate things like LED lights easily into these models to give them just a whole nother dimension. And about the filament, it's that nice kind of dark purple. And since this is, you know, for the dark side, I thought, okay, let me go for a darker look to it. But then it also has that nice sparkly purple effect to go along with it as well. And I could do the same thing with this Millennium Falcon, because there's another piece that I can print separately that I think I'm going to do a little bit later that easily slides into this, and then I'll be able to add some LED lights to the back of that as well. And since this already has a lighter base tone to it, it should make those lights pop even more. So these will make some really amazing decorative pieces for your Star Wars themed collection. So these are the models that I printed out for May the 4th, and I didn't even realize it until now, but none of these require any supports. So if you're new to 3D printing and the thought of supports kind of, scares you, you don't even have to worry about that. You just put these down on the build plate the way that they're supposed to be oriented, which more than likely they will be imported in the way that they're supposed to be. And then you can just send them to your printer and they will print the way that they're supposed to be printed, and you don't have to worry about supports at all. And if you're digging these colors for the chameleon effect and for the twinkly starlight effect from the eSun EPLA Chameleon or EPLA Magic filament, you can check the link in the description where you'll be able to find these filaments and pick them up for yourself. So thank you very much for eSun for sending me this filament so that I could try it out. And thank you very much to George Lucas for creating Star Wars so that I could show you these models. And also huge thanks to the people who created these amazing models so that I could share them with you. So please go show them some support, download these models, try them for yourself. I promise you, you will enjoy them a lot. So thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe because I'm making videos very often and there's another one coming very soon. So until then, take care of yourselves and I'll speak to you soon. May the Force be with you.